Hello, good afternoon. My name is Michael Hydrich, working at Hydrogen Europe in innovation. Delighted today to introduce this session, Startups Disrupting the European Hydrogen Economy, together with H2UB. I'll be short on my introduction. So, research and innovation, as we know, and particularly through the public-private partnership, Clean Hydrogen Partnership, together with its predecessors FCH1 and FCH2 JUs, can be seen as precursors for the European hydrogen strategy, Fit for 55. Without those tools, we would never be where we are today with hydrogen. Hydrogen indeed has become a solution for ambitious decarbonization plans. Europe today is at the forefront of the global technology race, and still further investments are needed in R&D, and public-private partnerships, they are crucial to pull funding into technology development, as it is the case for Clean Hydrogen Partnership, for example. We have a vibrant European startup ecosystem that is absolutely crucial to keep the lead and develop future breakthrough technologies, but having that said, public funding investment cannot do it all alone. And we welcome the steady involvement of the private finance in industry, in startups. Many technologies presented today, they reached already high technology readiness levels, and we now need to dramatically ramp up manufacturing capabilities and develop skilled workforce. In parallel, we need to ensure that EU policy and regulatory certainty to cement hydrogen markets and attract further private investment indeed. Today, we have an exceptional panel of innovative startups here to introduce themselves and their technologies. So first of all, congratulations from my end for all what has been achieved so far, for the dedication in the effort you're putting, and also thank you for being here today. It's a real pleasure that Hydrogen Europe could organize this session together with H2UB. We very much welcome this. We are delighted this event can happen, and we very much look forward to a fruitful, continuous cooperation together with H2UB. Passing on the floor to Uwe. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Michael, and a warm welcome also from my side. I'm very happy to stand here as the CEO of H2UB, the European hub for hydrogen startups, making space for innovative ideas, innovative concepts, innovative technology brought by startups to the European hydrogen economy. So this vivid and expanding hydrogen economy, of course, needs and produces startups. The yet undeveloped market, although, makes it for many of them a challenge to be visible, a challenge to be visible beyond their regional origin. It's a challenge sometimes to find partners, to find customers, and first of all, it's really necessary and also a challenge to find funding and VC. H2UB is taking these challenges and builds a European platform for hydrogen startups, and hydrogen startups are active along the whole value chain. It's production, it's storage, it's distribution, and it's using hydrogen in different sectors of the industry and different applications. A broad variety of those startups is here today. They are lining up to introduce their products, services, and ideas. 12 startups from 8 countries throughout Europe are here to pitch their concepts to you. And the concept will be that every startup will have 3 minutes for their pitch, and I really hope you encourage them to give good pitches, to cheer them up a little bit, and after these 12 startups, I'm convinced you will have a very good perspective of what's going on in the European startup scene concerning hydrogen innovation. So, without further ado, I would like to check if everybody's ready for the pitches. Yes? Okay, nodding. So, in an alphabetical order, as you see here, we have a couple of startups now presenting their ideas to you on the stage. And the first one will be Bramble Energy, and I welcome Carsten on the stage. Bramble Energy is a disruptive electrochemical device manufacturer, and Carsten will introduce his concept to us. Carsten, the stage is yours.
Okay. Well, thank you for this introduction. Thank you also, Michael, for giving the introduction on Hydrogen Europe. My name is Carsten, and we are Bramble. Bramble is, like already said, a disruptive electrochemical device producer, and we have IP protection in the fields of hydrogen fuel cells, electrolyzers, sensors, as well as redox flow batteries. But let me explain a little bit more in detail what makes us so different, focusing on our activities in fuel cells. So, we are providing a PEM fuel cell that, electrochemically speaking, is what you expect from a PEM fuel cell. Meaning, it has a high efficiency, a long lifetime, and it only produces water as an end product. But what do we do differently? We do differently the production. We are actually cheating a little bit, because we are putting our production into place using a well-established, scaled, worldwide, at high quality available and robust production cycle, production technology, which is the printed circuit board manufacture. That means we can harness those kind of advantages into our technology. So, in terms of our fuel cell, we have cost effectiveness into our products, which means we are already targeting 100 pounds per kilowatt for next year. We don't have to take care of a supply chain because it's already existent. We are very flexible in design. We are very scalable in terms of production because, be it one cell or a million cell, we produce it on the same means of production that leads to a very low risk if you want to enter this kind of technology. And that, at the end, gives those great advantages to our customers, meaning they can profit from that. They can enter the market at a scaled, cost-effective, reliable technology and don't even have to concern themselves about CapEx on installing manufacturing sites for our cells. But let me give you also some examples to prove that. Here we have a demonstrator which was realized with MAHL at Powertrain in the UK, and we're demonstrating our fuel cell system as a range extender in mobility in this Renault cable. We also are already on the market with a low power stationary product, which is realized or distributed through our partner BOC, a Linde member in the UK, and can be used, for instance, at construction sites for lighting. And with that, I'd like to thank you for your attention, for being here. And I guess I have left you with some questions and hopefully even more interest. So please come by our table at the startup booth and we can discuss further, engage into powering net zero.
Thank you very much, Carsten. Not only a great startup from the UK, not only a great idea, but on time, which is really great. The next startup is also from the UK. It's Carno, presented by George Hunter. It's a startup dealing with mobility and with very efficient engines, and George will tell us all about it.
Good afternoon, everybody. So, yes, I'm from Carno, and we are developing technologies at the very heart of sustainable powertrains. So, we are targeting gigaton scale CO2 reduction to decarbonise heavy-duty power and long-haul transport, more specifically focusing on applications like heavy-duty vehicles, the shipping, off-grid power, and applications like this. Now, this is a substantial emissions problem, currently accounting for over 5.5 gigatons of CO2 annually, and yet there is no technology-ready solutions to help them decarbonise. And they've got to reach net zero by 2050. And so currently, most of these are using conventional diesel engines. They're very good, very high power density, easy to maintain, durable, long range, but we cannot handle the emissions and the low efficiencies. Obviously, the batteries for this, when we're talking these heavy duty, long range applications, become too heavy and not cost effective. Fuel cells are obviously significantly better, but they still struggle from the inextricably linked to the green hydrogen economy. So what we are developing is a true zero emission, fuel agnostic, and the world's most efficient engine. Our technology, using advanced technical ceramics and a very innovative engine architecture, can achieve 70% thermal efficiency whilst generating zero CO2 and critically zero NOx. Whilst ultimately we want to be using hydrogen and hydrogen ammonia fuel blends, in the interim we can use biofuels, we can use defuel, and yeah, as a transitionary technology. The 70%, why do we care about 70% thermal efficiency? It's because it makes decarbonising not only economically viable, but economically beneficial. We can reduce total cost of ownership by 1/3 over the lifetime, and whilst our engines will be 1 to 2 times more expensive, your payback is about a year. And we can upgrade engines in life, so we're trying to accelerate the adoption of hydrogen here. So we're actually delivering field trials in 2024, and Carisbrooke one is going to be a hydrogen ammonia fuel blend, and I'm going to have to rattle through these so I'm staying on time, but yeah, we're a University of Oxford backed startup with expertise in automotive engineering. Archie's a lead Rolls-Royce engineer for years, and Francis is our quantum mechanic. We let him do the maths, and yeah, we are built on the back of total academic pedigree. Raised over $1 million in grant funding to date, and we're currently raising our seed fund now, so we'd love to have a chat, and 4 seconds ahead of time, so thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, George. Indeed, also very punctual, almost German. And speaking of Germany, the next startup is from Germany. It's CyberCell, coming from the digital sector, having digital solutions for scalability and the profitability of green hydrogen. And Markus will introduce CyberCell and their idea.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm going to talk about H2 in the context of digital, because we fundamentally believe that hydrogen, to build hydrogen value chains, decentralized value chains, it has to start with a digital approach. So we are scaling across the value chains with data and our content and automate this. We have a quite experienced team of engineers plus software engineers of experience of over 50 years of building software. Our focus is green hydrogen. We know it's high invest, it takes long time to market, it's hard to scale the profitability. Essentially what we do is we combine big data across sectors. We combine this with other data, which could be from CRM systems, ERP systems, weather data, electricity price market data. We combine all of this, and then we use the software to scale this and give you the content in the cloud as a software as a service, very simple and easy to actually implement. So how do we do this? Again, I said here on the right are all the data sources we combine. So we are not taking just one set of data or not just device data, we're actually taking to electricity prices, down to the certificate data if you have that, demand forecasts. We combine all of this, and then we're trying to automate processes along this the value chain, which you see here on the left could be, we are talking cloud to device, when to start the electrolyzer, when to leverage the electrolyzer more. Is it maybe from a weather perspective better to produce hydrogen now over the next 5 days? What's the forecast? What's the price I get from the market? What's the profitability I get from the market? What's the efficiency I can generate? So we're giving you recommendations and automation along that value chain. One example, machine learning for production planning. So we have built an algorithm to take different perspectives of data into account. And what you see here is combination of market prices, weather data, with the actual profitability scenarios, so you can make real-time decisions on how and when to start your value chain and your production process. So what have we seen on the scaling approach? I mean, we see efficiency gains of 55%. CapEx, OpEx is a big topic in the high investments, how to use them even more intensively. We're helping clients to reduce risk. operational expenditure as well as cost reductions between 10 to 20%, plus we give them also data for certificates of origin. This is about what we do. If you have more interest, come to our booth. I'm happily showing you a demo. Time is up. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. I actually didn't expect everyone to be so sharp with the 3 minutes, but it's gorgeous. Just to make a short remark, every startup pitching in this session is present at the joint startup booth right next opposite to the entrance. It is the first time that we have this startup booth organized together with Hydrogen Europe. Thank you for that. And I think it's a great opportunity for those 12 startups, and even more are in the hall here, like Fill and Drive, a great opportunity to present their ideas. And now my time is running, and therefore I introduce the next startup. That is HEE Technologies, also from Germany. Michael Schmitz will tell us about HEE and what they develop. It's hydrogen-powered stationary fuel cell systems. So, Michael, the floor is yours.
That works? Yeah. HEE Technologies is a startup in Cologne, Germany, and we are producing stationary fuel cell for decentralized power applications. So we take care we are at the end of the value chain. We are close to the customer, and we take care to take the hydrogen in an efficient way back to heat and power when needed. And we think on a decent scale. So our machine needs hydrogen. So whether it comes from whatever sources, preferably green, the machine doesn't care, but it converts it back in a very, very easy way for the user. Take it, install it, every plumber can do it, that's our mission, and everybody can operate it without a special certification in the home, in the house, or on remote applications to replace, say, for festivals or so, diesel engines, make it handy and easy for people. That's actually what it is as simple as it is. Air comes in, hydrogen comes in, quite a number, 7 kilograms per hour, and out comes 100 kilowatt of electricity. And along with that, low-grade heat, nicely usable for domestic applications or for everybody who has not the interest in going too high on the temperature for industrial purposes. It's cooling water, and that's basically it. What can you do with 100 kilowatts in thermal and electrical? It's quite a lot. You can power 200 households, which is a number, so it's not for everybody at home, but that's not what we are after. We are after a market that is in between appliances and a little bit lower than real power plants. So we don't want to compete with the Siemens and the Vaillants of this world, but we want to, this would be our niche. That's actually the first machine. That's what the company is. We are based in Cologne, have a joint venture in China. I'm just coming from China. It was nice, beautiful lockdown there. We are building machine number 3 and 4 over there, and we also will have a production in Germany. Yeah, that's what I said. We would like to scale from 30 kilowatts electrical power and up to something below 1 megawatt. Thank you very much. That's it.
Hello everyone, so we are HydroX and we are reinventing hydrogen storage. So the vast majority of the market has been very busy in the recent years with production of green hydrogen. Now that we are pretty on track, the next frontier of this market becomes obviously the storage and transportation of hydrogen. And this market is expected to grow 54% in the next 5 years to $120 billion by 2027. The challenge is that the conventional technologies today, compressed hydrogen, liquefied hydrogen, ammonia, etc., are all very complicated to scale up. They all require very extreme conditions of temperature and or pressure. They're all toxic, flammable, explosive, at least 2 of these 3 issues. And bottom line, they become very energy inefficient and very expensive. At HydroX, our mission is to reinvent this hydrogen storage technology with a patented technology which we have invented, which is based on a catalytic and completely reversible reaction, which enables us to store hydrogen into this liquid. This liquid is the first and only, as far as I know, hydrogen carrier, which is not only water-based, it's actually non-flammable, non-explosive, and completely non-toxic. Actually, I can open this bottle, smell it. Actually, I think that you can't do that with any other hydrogen storage in the industry. Or if I would do that with another hydrogen storage carrier in the industry, we would all have to run very, very fast out of this hole. So this is a major disruption in the way we can store and transport hydrogen. But beyond that, beyond being very safe, the whole reaction, the two-way ticket of this reaction require a very small amount of energy to store and release the hydrogen. So we require a temperature of 35 to 50 degrees and 1 to 10 bar, depending on the side of the reaction, to store and release 1 kilogram of hydrogen. We all in all require less than 2.5 kilowatt hour of energy, which means 94% energy efficiency, and which will bring hydrogen storage OPEX cost to below $1 per kilogram. Below $1 per kilogram OPEX cost to store and release hydrogen. This will be a major enabler of the hydrogen economy emergence, and we are now, after very advanced lab research, we've done proof of concept. We're now working on our first field pilots, and very soon on deploying our first products end of next year, actually. And we have with the objectives to bring 100 kilogram per hour storage and release unit by end of 2025, and 1 ton per hour storage and release units by end of 2026. We're raising now our round A to empower this roadmap, and we'll be very happy to discuss that in our booth at the H2UB zone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Asaf. Thanks for this presentation. And now we are moving a little bit back on the value chain, coming back to production, also storage topics, but Igor Iganya can explain what H2Site is doing, and the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. H2Site is a company that was founded in 2019 to exploit the technology developed by Tecnalia, the largest research center in Spain, and also the Technical University of Eindhoven in the Netherlands. The two of them put together the technology, and they developed what we call the integrated membrane reactors. In 2020, ENGIE became one of our shareholders, and barely 3 months ago, we also got him on board Breakthrough Energy Ventures and also Equinor. What do we do? H2Site produces on-site, cost-efficient renewable hydrogen for small and medium consumers, particularly in industry and mobility segments using feedstock-positive membrane reactors. The problem we want to solve is basically hydrogen transport. We keep on hearing about hydrogen generation cost around €2 per kilogram, whereas when we talk to our customers, they tell us that they pay between 10 and 15 euro per kilogram. There's a big gap there, and that's basically because of the hydrogen transport. Right? How do we want to solve this? Well, we have two routes. On the one hand, we can use hydrogen carriers such as ammonia, ethanol, methanol, biogas, etc. We can use these feedstocks to produce hydrogen fuel cell grade hydrogen. Whereas on the other hand, we can also separate hydrogen from the natural gas infrastructure if you blend it into the network. We can also work with concentrations as low as 5%. The cost of hydrogen separation from the natural gas infrastructure lies between 0.5 and 0.08 euro per kilogram, whereas for ammonia cracking without the ammonia cost, that lies between 0.9 and 1.5 euro per kilogram. We have solved some of the problems with all the technologies for separation purposes. For instance, we can produce fuel cell grade hydrogen. We can deal also with CO or CO2 impurities, and last but not least, we can also avoid the use of valves. Right? So in terms of the cost, which is actually the only thing that matters to our customers, we are very competitive in the net separation cost for some particular scenario. These are the markets we are targeting. We are targeting industry customers. We're also targeting mobility, whether it's for, let's say, hydrogen refueling stations or for onboard solutions or for maritime solutions. And we're also working on hydrogen for decentralized power generation. But let's say the most promising market for us is hydrogen blending for natural gas. These are some of the cool things that we are currently doing. On the one hand, we are building a unit to produce 200 kilograms per day of hydrogen from ammonia. In UK, we're also building some units for the blending at distribution level and also at transmission level, and we're also working on biogas to hydrogen products. We're looking for business opportunities, so after the event, you can come back to our booth and let us discuss. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Igor. And we have been in the south of Europe, in Spain, and we are staying in the south of Europe, but moving a little bit to the east and coming to Croatia. I'm really happy that we have a startup from Croatia with us, introducing an idea of a concept driven by hydrogen. And I'm convinced that Philip Margan will be more able than me to explain what HYDROVERSE world is. So be curious and learn.
Thank you. Is it working? Yeah. Hello everyone. I'm Philip Margan. I'm the founder of HYDROVERSE World. I'm presenting the unique hospitality concept for unique clean energy infrastructure development. What we seen and heard today here, they're all great products, but we are making them possible on a market in different way. And why we do that? We do that simply for climate change. We already see, and we all know, we are witnessing the everyday climate changes and different weather scenarios which we don't want to, like this was in Slovenia recently. And how we plan to do that? We plan to do that with the clean hydrogen. With clean hydrogen, we need to implement, to develop and spread hydrogen solutions in the market all around the world. We came with the concept of hospitality, which is very unique because the main carrier, the main energy source is hydrogen, and I'm sorry. This concept is based completely on a hydrogen. It's co-working, co-living space, fully equipped with a lot of different technologies which are about to come. And when it's going to happen, it's actually happening now. We have the first building permission in Croatia issued, and there are 5 more developments in Slovenia ongoing now. And who is doing this? It's HYDROVERSE World in eCubes. HYDROVERSE World is my startup, and eCubes is a partner company which is providing us infrastructure. It's pretty much the hotel for digital nomads and technology-driven lodging and working concept. They'll also become a startup accelerator and completely powered by clean hydrogen. This is the real render of how it's going to look. And we have the infrastructure, we have also additional refilling station for hydrogen and the building which is there. It's part of we are happy to say that because we are part of the North Adriatic Hydrogen Valley and a zero emission mobility corridor North Adriatic. And this is the first transnational hydrogen valley in the world between 3 territories, Italy, Slovenia and Croatia. And we are very happy to be part of it. And these are pretty much our products which you can come and join us and become part of us. One is the product as a HYDROVERSE World, and another one is the infrastructure each of them, they can be combined together or separate, but we are iNomad World and E-Cubes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I would like to introduce the next startup from the UK, precisely from Scotland. And we are going to learn by Bill Ireland what Logan Energy is doing. And Logan Energy, as a provider of complete hydrogen systems, has a different approach than the system we have seen now. And let's hear from Bill what they are doing.
Thank you very much. Some of you will recognise Logan's name. We've been around a while. We're an old startup, but we have started up a lot of subsidiaries, because what we do is we integrate hydrogen systems and different technologies. So some of the technologies you've seen today we'll be integrating tomorrow. And the reason why we do that is because we haven't found anybody else that can do it as well as we can. So we do everything from refueling stations, storage and compression. We do off-grid systems. We did an off-grid system which was completed in 2015. And then we're also doing mobile refueling systems. The reason why is because this is what the industry is asking for. They're asking for solutions to problems they have at the moment. So this temporary mobile system is because we have manufacturers of vehicles that need to fill a vehicle once to test it. And then they need to degas it, and then they need to deliver it, and that's it. But they need to do that for every vehicle they do. Every time it needs maintaining, potentially the hydrogen needs to be taken out of the tanks. So this is a tool that goes with your maintenance of your vehicles. So what we're doing is a lot of small projects, startups that provide this. And the reason why is because we've looked at the whole system. We've done everything from converting vehicles all the way through to grid management. And we do all the little boxes in there. And we've developed our own software and some of our own hardware to link it all together to actually make it work far more efficiently than a lot of the systems I've seen out there that are being proposed. Quite often people will say, I've bought a 1 megawatt electrolyzer, can you put the rest of it together? And my first comment is, why have you bought a 1 megawatt electrolyzer? What type is it? And it's actually the sizing of it, the integration, and what you're going to use it for at the end. And this is the project we developed. It's basically what you saw in the diagram, but this was done back in 2015-16, and involved wind, solar, hydrogen energy storage, back to a fuel cell, to basically an energy storage system and a microgrid demonstration project. We're also doing, this is a fun one, which is zero carbon whiskey. They produce all of their own resources other than their energy. So this is basically to put wind and solar on the estate that the distillery is on, where they grow all the crops, and then to be completely zero carbon. And they're not allowed to export, it's connected to the grid, but they're not allowed to export to the grid. So we've managed the energy system, we've provided the electrolyzer, compression, storage, and then back through hydrogen steam boilers. And I'm going to run out of time. This is the largest, so we're an SME, but this is the largest hydrogen refueling station in Europe that's been deployed in Northern Ireland, and we've put all that together from different components to optimise it and made it fairly cheaply. And this is it. I'm 10 seconds over, but we basically build a frame, put the stuff inside, engineer it all together, commission it, and then deploy it on site. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bill. It's always amazing to see that even at a hydrogen conference, whiskey can be a really serious topic, even when it comes to zero emission hydrogen. So thank you very much, Bill, for that. And now the number 9 of the startups pitching today is called Point 12. I couldn't avoid this joke. And Point 12 is solving a great challenge for the hydrogen world, that is the complexity of certification of green hydrogen. And we are curious to hear from Flor, startup from Germany, by the way, how this works.
Uwe. Good afternoon, everyone. Over 500 projects, large-scale hydrogen projects, have been announced recently. But if you look at numbers, actually only about 10% have reached final investment decision. It's not much, as if people were really thinking twice before they jump into hydrogen. So why is the market actually thinking twice before gaining up speed? Our answer is, it's a complex game. Take off-takers. Off-takers are craving green hydrogen as the only way for them to decarbonize. But when you think of it, off-takers have struggles to actually 100% decarbonize with hydrogen due to the certification issue. Producers themselves, they are moving full speed. However, they're facing a huge challenge of producing something which is not labeled right and therefore doesn't match the certification requirements of their off-takers. Meanwhile, the space is crowded with certifiers, verifiers, regulatory bodies. In short, green hydrogen, so the hydrogen space needs to be carbon-free from the start. However, there's a massive challenge because few people really agree what it means and how to measure it. If we look specifically at the challenges of producers, if we take Mizan, for example, who's a commercial plant manager, well, he's struggling with finding the right certification scheme in the first place, but also turning complex data flows into insights for his stakeholders, delivering on sustainability agendas of everyone, ensuring H2 batches pass borders, passing surprise audits while managing multiple communication channels. Challenge accepted. This is where Point 12 Energy actually comes in. Our ambition, our vision is to automate certification for the hydrogen industry. We act as the single touchpoint for hydrogen producers to manage the complexity of certification. We handle all data flows and exchanges with certification bodies, keeping costs and risks under control. Technically speaking, we gather data all across the value chain. We record them on the blockchain. We use smart contracts to handle certification with certification bodies. You tell us what your off-taker is, we tell you what your certification scheme actually should be. We give you access to your certificates portfolio management tool, where we gather and monitor data flows. We give you access to your own digital commodity passport, which basically assembles everything that your off-takers need in one single place, while giving you also access to your audit and sustainability reports. With us, you are future-proof. The regulatory challenges actually, the regulatory requirements can change, but you are future-proof and you can distinguish yourselves amongst competition. We're Flora, Quentin, Erica. You can go find us at our booth. Currently, what we're looking for is pilot customers in order to deliver our first demonstration technology projects. Thank you. We look forward to speaking with you.
Thank you, Flora, very much. As she said, all the startups can be found at the joint startup booth right opposite the entrance. H2UB is organizing this booth for the first time together with 12 amazing startups from all over Europe. And you have the chance now and later, of course, to talk to them. Next startup is from France, and Mathieu Schmidt is introducing Sakowin and their technology to produce clean and green hydrogen.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mathieu Schmidt, Head of Business Development at Sakowin, and I'm going to introduce the next generation of cost-competitive and sustainable hydrogen. We all agree that we need sustainable production, which means without CO2, scalable, and also at a cost competitive. And if we want to do that, is it not easier to start with the molecule that consumes less energy to produce the same amount of hydrogen? The answer is methane. That's what we do. We have developed and patented a technology called methane plasmalysis, where we decompose the methane molecule with a microwave plasma into hydrogen and solid carbon. The result, it's CO2-free process, of course, and we use 5 times less energy than electrolysis for the same amount of hydrogen, which will result in a cost competitive 3 to 4 euros per kilogram of hydrogen without valorizing the carbon. That technology is encapsulated into an equipment that is compact, modular and scalable, producing from 200 kilograms of hydrogen per day into several tons, and on-site and on-demand, which means we produce at the consumer site at the end of the gas line infrastructure. No need to redevelop and pay a new infrastructure. Our technology is of course sustainable. We are even green than the green hydrogen, as we can be CO2 negative, coupled with biomethane. With natural gas, we are at zero in terms of CO2, but with a cost close to the steam reforming. We have two markets, as you understood, the hydrogen and also the solid market, where there could be also environmental aspects, like for building materials and agriculture. And we are selling our technologies through partners. And if there are here partners, don't hesitate to come and we'll talk. We are at TRL 5 in Aix-en-Provence in our lab. Our module will be ready by 2025. And in terms of financing, we have already secured 12 million euros. Last one was the EIC with 6.5 million euros. And we are raising a new round of 4 million euros. It's a team of 16 persons. The slide is not up to date as we are onboarding lots of persons with people on the technical side. So we have 6 PhDs, 5 engineers, and on all the support side. So thank you very much. We're looking forward to discuss and meet you at the booth to talk about the technology. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, the next startup I'd like to introduce is from Sweden, and we are talking again about digital solutions in the hydrogen economy. And Southern Lights from Sweden is developing a software as a service platform to design, simulate, and evaluate the feasibility of green hydrogen projects. So I'm glad that Felipe Gallardo is presenting his company.
So much. Hello everyone, my name is Felipe Gallardo and I am the CEO of Southern Lights. I don't need to say to this audience that climate change is upon us and how much hydrogen is important for us. But we always like to start with this slide just to understand that even if we have the clarity today that we need hydrogen, there are problems that we need to solve. And we, as a startup, are focusing on one problem in particular. Green hydrogen projects are today hard to assess. They are difficult to evaluate, and there are some reasons for that. In particular, there are no standardized tools for project assessment. So, energy developers and hydrogen project developers end up working with expensive consultancies that offer obscure results, that is difficult to escalate and evaluate many projects, or that might be difficult to present to off-takers or investors. So we have created HEPU, Hydrogen Energy Performance Unit. And HEPU is a tool for the design, the simulation, and the assessment of the feasibility of green hydrogen projects. So this is what it looks like. We have already launched, and it's a simulation tool where you can define technicalities and specificities such as the type of energy supply. It's a PPA, or you have your own solar system. You can choose your electrolyzer, customize it according to your own OEM. If you have different offers for different providers, you can have your development cost, installation cost, energy cost, water cost, financial assumptions, and then you can see the economics of it. We have a very nice data visualization module, but of course, you will have also access to the raw data if you need to do more advanced calculations. So why to work with us? With our tool, you will gain trust of your off-takers and financiers. It's a very easy to use tool. Most of energy developers are already used to this. I come from project development. I use PVCs for solar systems or other softwares for wind, etc. So we are emulating that, and our aim is to decrease the cost of project development so developers can focus on what is actually the activities of development, clearing permits, connection permits, creating relations with the community. There are other softwares in the market, of course, but we are really aiming for ease of use and very advanced models. And our strong energy models have been developed in KTH Royal Institute of Technology in Sweden, where we work. We have a user-centric design. We work with our early adopters today, our clients in Chile, Colombia, Italy, they tell us what they want, and we go for that. And we continue always developing this project with them. So we are today relaunching for the European market our early adopter subscription, which will be valid from November to December. You are very much welcome to go to our website, get a quote, and subscribe for our software, and get your credentials and start using it. It's a software as a service platform. Subscribe, remember to use these promotional codes to get a significant discount. And if you are OEMs that would like to be in our catalog, so users can also assess your technology in our platform, let's talk to us. Also, if you are an investor, we're always happy to talk to investors, but what we care most about is clients. So thank you so much for your time.
So Felipe, thank you very much for that. And finally, but last but not least, I'll introduce a startup from Germany again, which we have been working with at H2UB for quite a long time, from Dortmund in Germany. And one of the founders, Lukas Lüke, is presenting HYDROVERSE as an independent manufacturer of electrolysis stacks for the production of hydrogen. Lukas.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm the last startup pitching today. First, thanks very much to the H2UB and Hydrogen Europe for making it happen that we are here and can present today here. And second, I would like to give you a quick intro in WEW. WEW, that stands for Water Electrolysis Works. That's our strong belief, and I hope you will follow me into that direction in a couple of minutes. So myself, Lukas, together with Wiebke and Gregor, founded this startup beginning of last year, where we put together our more than 3 decades of hydrogen experience to fill a blank spot in the hydrogen value chain. Looking at the hydrogen demand, we see huge amounts of hydrogen necessary in the future. In 2030 and 2050, even some projects or some studies are projecting up to 660 million tons of hydrogen per year, and to produce that with electricity and electrolysis, you need over 9,000 gigawatts worth of electrolyzers installed. And the problem is, right now, the capacity from the manufacturers is not there yet. We see 5 to 10 gigawatts, maybe annual production capacity. It's going up, but it's slow. And the second challenge is cost. So we have operating costs, electricity basically, but if you manage to have a good PPA, you can get that in check. But you have still huge cost chunks in the on the investment side. And there our solution comes into play, because we focused on the single most costly equipment in an electrolyzer system, the stack. You see with these WEW dots on this very delicious cake. And what we do with this is we provide that to other players in the infrastructure, similar like what you know from the e-bike market, where traditional cycle manufacturers could upgrade their cycles into the modern world with components, for example, of Bosch, you can also see here. And that's exactly the game we are playing in the hydrogen. We are providing the stacks and can enable a lot of customers to join this very interesting hydrogen economy. How are we going to do that? We have the first test facility running now within our industrial partners. It's one of the largest alkaline test fields in operation today. And we are right now setting up our manufacturing capabilities in the heart of Europe in Dortmund, where we can ramp up our production up to the gigawatts. So WEW, we have an innovative new modern design for electrolyzer stacks with a very good cost efficiency. We are building up the highly automated production line in Europe, and we are supporting all our customers with stacks, so you can order them easily in the future, similar like you order other equipment. With this, I want to close and come visit us at our booth. My colleague Robert and myself are happy to talk to you. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Lukas, thank you very much. And that was the round of 12 very innovative startups presented here on stage at the EU flagship event, H2 flagship event. Thanks again for your cooperative approach, Maria and colleagues. It was quite a thing to do this. And today you're not allowed to vote for the pitches, but the voting currency for today is attention and curiosity. So please move over, maybe all of you, to the booth right opposite the entrance to meet those 12 amazing startups. Thank you for your attention. Hope to see you at the stand. And my last remark will be, I would like to have all the presenting startups on the stage for a group photo, and maybe Marie can join us too. And yeah, thanks, and see you at the booth.